In the grave in the Ferragamo. Audio podcast. Gang, what's good?
Yo.
You already know what it is.
Yeah, baby.
Styles the Prophet. This is the 4G Audio Podcast. With me, like always, we got B-Show in the corner.
You know what it is.
Gang. And making this all happen on the podcast ones and twos, we got Jones Z.
Back here.
Yeah. But tonight, I've actually been waiting for this for a little bit. We got Mr. Jones in the house.
Woo. Yeah. You know
Hell
what time
yeah.
it is. Hey.
Yeah.
You know what it is. 4G Audio.
That's what's up. Thanks for
Fuck
coming
yeah.
out, man.
No, seriously,
We
like I said,
appreciate
I have been looking forward to this.
Thanks for having me, man.
For a minute,
Appreciate it,
man.
man. Fuck yeah.
I remember I got in contact with you, like, it's probably right whenever we first started, so, like,
I think that's right. You were telling us something about that.
I just was like, hey, in the future, one day, you know, and then whenever we got going with that show and stuff on the end of your tour and shit.
Yeah. I remember you hit me up and you said, you mentioned that maybe after the tour you should come through, you know, so
Yeah.
everything's all cleared up. And I reserved the summer for my son and family like that, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
you know, we're back to school, so all right, I'm in the studio, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Good job
Yeah.
with that.
Back to work.
Yeah,
True that,
back
doing
to
work.
it.
That's it.
Hell yeah, man.
It's not work if you're having fun, though, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
So,
Yeah. Actually, someone said to me today,
it's back to life, you know what I'm saying? Back to regular life.
my buddy said last night, actually, he goes, my grandpa told me, how did he say it? Never be good at something that you don't like doing. And I was like, wow, that's like a different, like, you know how people say, like, oh, if you do something you love, you're never working or
Yeah.
whatever. It's like, oh, like,
You can't call it work.
it's like just another take on the same idea, sort of. You know what I mean? Don't be good at something you don't like doing, because like,
Don't spend the time to get good at something you don't like doing.
Yeah.
That makes sense,
first of all, fucking cheers, boys.
Hey,
Okay,
what?
yeah.
Cheers.
Drop some
Here's
Henny.
the weekend.
Yeah, baby. That's what's
Mr.
up,
Jones.
man.
Back
Hey.
here. Cheers.
You know what it is.
Woo, sipping and pouring, boys. Yeah. So, anyways, man, fuck. So, tell us about the tour, man. Fucking
Yeah.
10 provinces, 85 days.
Yeah, it was more like 100-something days, to be honest. Yeah, it was over 2 months. Yeah, it was really exciting. I did all 10 provinces, 37 cities. I mean, I set it all up myself. This is the fourth tour I set up myself. We're looking into the fifth one right now, you know, so doing all of Canada.
That takes a lot too, man.
Well,
No
it takes
doubt.
a lot, yeah, 100%. And actually, like, I booked like half of it, and then like I started it, and I was still like on the road. I was still booking the rest of it as I was going. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of things, came into consideration. You know, it was a roller coaster, went up and down. Like, you gotta expect the unexpected, but
Yeah,
like,
no doubt. Did you ever?
Yeah, and I was
so-
gonna say, speaking of the unexpected too, though.
oh yeah, the
Fucking, I saw you got in that accident.
car
man.
accident.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
take us through that. Yeah, take us through that a little
Thankful
bit.
that it went the way that it did.
Absolutely, yeah.
glad I'm alive. You know, so I'm glad to be here to share the story with you guys. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
man.
But yeah, you know.
So yeah, what happened?
Well, we had a couple of days off, and we're
Yeah.
going to Niagara Falls, you know, just
Nice.
because it's a nice spot, you know, so check out the falls, and just, you know, every time I go to that city, I feel it's refreshing, you know, it feeds the soul
Yeah.
a little bit to be like, you know, by like one of the wonders of the world.
No
you know
doubt,
what
yeah,
I mean? This
man.
huge waterfall, it just makes me feel like, takes all the weight off my shoulders, and I forget about all the problems type thing,
Yeah.
Awesome.
problems or obstacles, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So we ended up going there, and then on our way out of there, we're just driving, and then like we're in the third lane, and then all of a sudden I feel the car swerving. Like I just hear like swerving, and then we cross three lanes, smash to the concrete guardrail.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I'm just driving straight. You know, I don't even know how that happened. So then, like, smashed the concrete guardrail. I looked at my boy on the side. You know, like he's just like brushing it off. And then I looked to the left to see if there's any oncoming traffic coming. You know, because we did swerve 3 lanes, and it was
Yeah.
like 4 o'clock traffic time. Like,
Wow.
cars were coming, man. So luckily, no one hit us
Yeah.
coming by. So I went out and I took a peek, and I seen there's an 18-wheeler down the road that parked on the side. and Buddy's walking up the road to see if we're okay, you know.
Okay.
So he basically, I found out afterwards that he pit maneuvered us, you know.
Oh shit.
Driving like 120. Well, I told the officer we're driving 100, obviously.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But still, you know, like, hey, that's a wake-up call. And, that, you know, the next day I had a show in Guelph, you know, like, it was pretty wild. Ambulance came, you know, cops came, someone died on with one or something, so, you know, make sure we're all right.
Yeah,
so, you know, luckily we were, like, no scratch, nothing. Like, airbags deployed. The front looked like an accordion, I swear, man. Like, you know, if we would have went any faster, if we would have went on a straighter angle, like, I swear that mortar would have been on my lap, man.
Yeah.
So did someone just like clip you from the back and like make
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, like, you know, like how
man.
like people you know, they're driving away like, fast from the cops, and then like they pit maneuvered them to neutralize the vehicle. Well, that's what happened. That's, you know, like I guess I was in his blind spot because it's a truck, right? You can't really see that angle from that high, so. You know, I don't know, man. When I was pissed off when I see them, like, get the fuck out of here, man. Get out of here. You know, like,
Seriously, yeah. Were you driving like your own car? Or was it rental?
I was driving my own car, yeah. And so luckily, you know, I could phone the insurance, and they hooked us up with a rental. So we had to go to the hospital, obviously, to get ourselves assessed and see if everything's all right, you know. I mean, today I'm still feeling like stuff in my lower back, stuff like that. I still gotta go see like my family doctor and stuff like that.
No doubt, man.
So it's still ongoing there, but
that shit takes a toll on the body for a while.
Man.
Back pain.
And it's not right away. It's after, you know. What I mean?
Yeah, man.
On the moment, you feel adrenaline.
Adrenaline,
you know,
man,
so you don't even know if
yeah.
you're hurting or not. It's
Yeah, you're in shock.
This wasn't quite as bad, but just shortly before that, right around that same time, I hit a bear.
Yeah, that's right.
And
yeah,
fucking,
man.
even like you say, man, like you still feel it in your back. And like I always have like a bad lower back.
Yeah, I feel you.
But like ever since that, like even at first I was like, oh yeah, I'm fine, whatever. And I could feel, I'm like, yeah, like I kind of jarred my back a bit, but I don't feel it. Like it doesn't hurt, you know? But then, yeah, like for a couple weeks after, man, it was just so bad. And it still comes back. But I say that to say this is that that was like, you know, I wasn't going quite as fast and I didn't fucking stop dead, you know what I mean? Like,
So you kind of went through what you hit.
Yeah, it wasn't as serious, I guess what I mean, but yeah.
Well, man, we're glad you're still here, you know.
Yeah,
what I'm
seriously,
saying, man. That's wild.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that 100%. I'm glad I'm still here too, you know. We have to rock with you boys and, you know, keep going. And it's the next day, and like I said, we had a show in...
So you did a show the next day?
Well, we did the next day. I ended up telling the story to the crowd and everything. And it's because it happened just the night before. Like, it was just, they could hear it in my voice that, like, how sincere I was. Everyone just started clapping. I'm like, this is my best show. I'm like, let me tell you why. I'm like, because I told them the story, this happened, you know, and I'm here to rock with you guys today, man. Everyone's like, oh, shit. I was like,
sick,
man. Yeah, so it was cool, man. We had the rental car all the way up to Quebec City, and after that, the insurance money came in, so we're able to just buy a car for the rest of the East Coast part of the tour, I should say.
Yeah, and it's good that you kept going too, you know what I mean? Especially like fucking...
Nothing gonna stop
next
me,
day, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
keep
out
going.
the next day doing your thing.
And nothing's gonna stop.
The show
me,
must
some people,
go on.
Even MGK.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Even MGK, when that car accident happened with him, I don't know if you're familiar with MGK's story.
I don't know about the story about the car accident, but
he was
I know
going to sign like a record deal or whatever in New
this
York.
is like the beginning
and,
of his...
they were driving. I guess they had to drive across a couple states, and he didn't have his license or whatever, so they had to switch at a certain spot.
Oh yeah.
So when they pulled over to switch, fucking someone came off the road and hit them, and fucking like pushed the car off the road, and like they were like hanging out of the car and shit.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
And he was like sitting in the hospital and shit, and he was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. And fucking he went home and was like, I'm not doing it. And he was sitting in the basement, and his manager came downstairs and was like, yo, like, guess who just fucking called me? He's gonna call you in 30 seconds.
The universe talking to him, man.
And
you
it
know what I'm
was
saying?
fucking Pete.
I believe
he called
in that,
him on the phone, man, and he fucking, you know. But even in like reason why I say that is like even he was like, yeah, it's over. I'm done with all this shit, you know. So to keep going, you know. To keep going is one thing, but to turn around and go the next day to that show, you got, you know, like
that's what it's
just
all
to get
about,
back in
man.
the car and to drive back on the same highway after they get out of the hospital. I was just like, even today, man, like sometimes like I'm tripping balls. I'm trying to have to pass an 18-wheeler or something. Sometimes I'll just cruise behind them for the longest time. Like, screw this, man. Like, especially if it's raining or something, you know. Like,
same, man. Whenever I'm driving in like, cause like I live like out of the city, you know.
Okay.
So whenever I'm driving in the dark and shit like that, I'll honk my horn every once in a while.
Hey, that's what I was doing at first when I passed the 18-wheelers.
Like,
I swear, it's the same thing I was doing that.
That's smart.
Apparently do that in Jamaica all the time because they don't have like lights or whatever, so when they're turning a corner, they
side mirrors and
no
shit.
way, really?
Yeah, that's what Buddy was telling me. Yeah, one of my friends.
Wild.
That's like in a factory or whatever. The guy with the fucking forklift, you know, when you come around the corner, you're like, beep, beep,
Yeah,
beep,
yeah,
come on.
totally. Oh, yeah.
Hey, why not, man?
Anytime you start moving in a factory, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You gotta be heard or seen or one of the two, you know what I'm saying? I'm coming through, man.
That's crazy. I never do that, though.
But yeah, that was just one of the the obstacles I had to overcome, you know.
Yeah.
And that's that's unpredicted. You know, like, the probability of that happening on that day, you know, like we drive, we see accidents all the time, you know what I mean? But for it to be me on that day, like that was just wild, man.
Time
Especially
and place, man.
that intense. I was like, oh. Anyways, you think twice about certain things, and you know. It's makes you reflect a little bit about life.
Yeah, it makes you appreciate shit more, man.
Just saying, you know.
Put some perspective into you.
You know what I'm saying? Like.
Well, yeah. So the tour was good, though.
Success.
Yeah,
all
you know,
around.
all the shows went down, man. You know, we pulled it off, made some money. I was initially supposed to leave with two other artists that like I had
support.
booked. Yeah, tour support, and they like totally canceled on me last second. You know what I mean? So I was like, what? So then like first show was in North Bay, so I ended up going, and I had to do like 6 people's job. You know what I mean? I had to do the door, I had to do the merch, I had to do the sound, I had to do the MC for the night, and plus I was the main event. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
So like it was a good show, but like people seen like that I was a little bit everywhere, and like I didn't have time to like enjoy myself and talk to everyone and network like I usually do. So then, like, I mean, I spent the whole winter booking this tour. I'm like, there's no way I'm canceling because of this. So I ended up just going anyway.
Where'd you play in North Bay? Sorry.
At the Fraser.
Okay.
Yeah, at the Fraser.
And that's where this whole tour started? North Bay?
That's where the whole tour started, yeah. North
Okay.
Bay. Yeah.
So you kind of just went everywhere. You know, it wasn't like west to east, you know what I'm saying? Because you were in Ottawa.
We're right in the middle, right?
Yeah, that's
so
right.
I initially traveled Canada in double. Like,
okay.
I had to go all the way to the West Coast and back. And then East Coast and back. You know?
Okay.
So I had like maybe a week break in the middle, you know what I mean? But it wasn't even that.
Yeah. And you ended here, though, right?
I always keep the finale for like Ottawa, Gatineau.
Hometown,
you know?
that's
exactly,
smart.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's
cool.
You know, it builds anticipation, and then people are like, oh, what's up, you know?
We were trying to get to the Gatineau show, but I think, I can't remember what.
It ended up changing because the venue canceled on us. Like, we had so many, you know, little obstacles, like I said, cancellations of venues, this and that. I hop on the phones, I make phone calls, this and that. Okay, boom, we booked another venue, all right. We switched the flyer, all right, boom. It's
crazy,
refresh, go contact all the artists. All right, it's not at the Papa Bar, it's going to be at this other place, this location hall, I forget what it's called there, but Kedgerdsy or something like that.
Okay. So you had some of your supporting acts bail on you. When did you pick up World Peace Jesus?
I picked them up in Sudbury, man. The day after North Bay. Yeah.
Okay.
I did. I did the show, and then my aunt and my cousin, they're from there, and so was my dad, right?
Yeah.
So they were there, and then I guess he was watching me, and he seen that my aunt was in my entourage, so he went to go talk to my aunt, and then my aunt's like, yeah, just go ask him. I'm sure he'll let you open the show, you know? So he went to ask me, he's like, yo, can I open the show, man? I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, these, you know, people sold tickets and stuff. Yeah, I'm opening it, man. Like, I'm like, one song. All right, fine, you know?
Yeah.
So I gave him the benefit of the doubt. He opened the show, and, like, his charisma and his energy was like, wow. And then, like, after that, I was like, yo, man, I'm like, I want you to host the show, man. Like, host it. Just keep going, bro. He's like, yeah, okay.
He's a good host.
He's,
man. Sure, the energy he had.
He cracks the whip, man.
I've never seen it before.
Everyone's loose and ready for everyone, you know?
Well, at first, I was kind of like, he did one song, I was kind of like, this guy's kind of cheesy, you know? Then he did this one, he got those fucking, it was bottles with the beans in it and shit, like the shakers and stuff. Yeah. He's like, here, and he's giving them everyone. He's like, who wants one? And I was like, I don't want one. And he's like, you want one?
He takes you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, exactly, and he threw it to me.
But people need that, man.
And people
need that shit.
Part of that song was, he said something about, like, and now you're standing there with a smile on your face or something. I'm literally standing there like this, smiling, shaking this fucking thing. And I was like, you got me, man. Yeah. You fucking got me,
this
man.
Guy,
He's on to something, for sure, man. I like his energy.
He was a good asset to the whole tour, man. Like,
he was with you
so he
for
did
the
that
rest of the time?
for every
yeah, well, you overheard me talk to the sound guy after the show, and I was telling him, I was like, oh, like, I'm doing this whole thing by myself, and all my people bailed on me, and he's like, yo, I'll do it with you. I was like, what? I turned around, like, yeah, I'll do the tour with you, man. I was like, seriously?
And you guys didn't even know each other before that?
No, not at all, man.
That's so sick, man.
Not at all, man. You know, that's awesome on this part. When I was 22, I would wish to have that opportunity. Someone just pick me up and tour across Canada.
Yeah, man.
I have to set this whole shit up myself. Nobody set this up for me.
Actually, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I'm 31.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sick.
It's all good, man. So yeah, man. So he said, "Yo, let's do the tour." I was like, "Okay." So I kind of interviewed him for like an hour. Then like the next day, I messaged him before I leave, and he's like, "Yo, I'm still down." I was like, "Fuck. All right, let's do it." So I go pick him up, man. So I think the next city was Sault Ste. Marie or something like that, man.
Okay.
So he came along, man. And I'm like, "Yo, you could come, man, as long as I'm at the door, the merch, and this and that." I'm like, "Hey, you could even make money if you sell enough merch." And he did make money, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
That's sick, man. Yeah, no
but he was a good asset, man. He brought up some good points, ways to save money, this and that. And like I said, I ended up booking that tour, and halfway through the tour, I ended up leaving on tour, and only half of it was booked, right? So I was coming closer to I was booking, but I was coming closer to the days. And so then I told him, like, "Yo, man, like, I also had my ex-girlfriend at the time. I taught her how to book and this and that. So she was doing it, and then I got him to do it. So then we were able to, he was actually a help. He was getting artists, he was booking artists, and then it was good. So it was a good recipe. Until my ex, she tried to sabotage me. She's calling the venue. She's like, "Oh, the shows are canceled, this and that, and then she hacks my pages and everything.
No.
She's talking to these venues saying that she's me, and big nightmare. And I'm all the way in BC, and she's doing this all because there was an artist that I had booked. That World Peace had booked for Vancouver, and she ended up being a girl, right? And she was a pretty girl, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So then she was flipping bullshit. "You're gonna take her off the show, this and that." I'm like, never in my history of, touring, booking artists that I've taken an artist off the show, especially for no reason, you know what I mean? So I was like, I'm not doing it. And then that's when she started hacking my shit. And I was like, ooh, she's got me by the balls, man.
Wild, man.
So I had to do it, man. I had to just follow what she says until I got back, man. So halfway back through the tour, I'm like, fuck it, I took all my shit out of the house pretty much that I'd be afraid of her taking.
That's crazy.
Well, not everything, but...
Crazy.
That's the last thing you need.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
So I ended up leaving for the second half, the East Coast, and then she ended up robbing my place, man. And cause I changed the locks because I have cats, right? And she was like, they're feeding the cats, and my mom went there one day. She's like, "It looks like this place is a dump. No one's been here for weeks." Like, I was like, "What the hell? Like, my cats don't have food, they don't have nothing." I'm like, "Change the locks right now." You know what I mean? So she did that. 2 days later, she came back. There's no doorknob on the door.
Holy fuck.
I'm like, oh my god, and then
a little B&E.
Fucking determination.
Wild, man.
Crazy.
Yeah. This girl, she lost her marbles, man. She's
I'd say
not right in her head, mentally. I'm not just saying that, but for real though.
Yeah.
To go to that extent, man,
that's wild.
So so it's safe to say that I'm not with that girl no more. Yeah. Just saying, man,
made it out on the other side.
Yeah, so those are just little obstacles I had to overcome.
And this is all just this past tour we're talking about.
Yeah, that was just that last pass.
Yeah.
Hey man, if I'm on the stories, I was, we're in Thunder Bay, and then there's this, after the show, there was one of the openers actually, there was a father and his son, but they're older, and one of the openers just Superman punched the kid, in the crowd because he's talking shit. I don't know what the story was. So then a big brawl, everything, cops come. So then the show ends up being over, and then the kid's dad comes back, and I guess the kid's dad said, "Oh, it's the rapper that hit me," and I'm the only one there, cleaning up after because I set up the show. I'm there, so the guy taps me on the shoulder. I turn around. He sucker punches me, man. Right? Yeah, he split my lip, the guy.
What?
And I was like, what? I'm like, I look, and the guy's running outside already. So I'm like, okay, I go outside. There's cops everywhere because this just happened earlier. The guy's not nowhere to be seen. I'm like, yo, okay, he got me, man. But it wasn't even me. It was the opener, right? But I mean, the old guy's drunk. He's and the son's like, oh, it's the rapper. Well, which one, It's the first one he sees, takes a swing at him.
That sounds like a dirty horror show right there.
Yeah, so that was, I think, it was the third show. And then I had to, keep going with my split lip, man.
Yeah, man. I
was telling the venue, I'm like, where's the security? They're like, they left at midnight. I'm like, what? How does that make sense, I'm like, well, you guys are kind of liable for this,
Yeah.
I'm like, you better give me some shots of Jack right now, man. You know what I'm saying? So I did 4 or 5 shots of Jack, and I couldn't feel it no more. Yeah. Except when I took the shot, it burned, man. I was
no doubt.
So then after that, I slept like a baby, man, and just pulled through.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, man. So that's
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's crazy,
but I mean,
man.
aside all that, there was a whole bunch of good stuff, you know what I mean? It seems like we always talk about the bad and this, and you look at the news, it's the same shit, you know what I'm saying? But it was great, man. Great experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Well, you
So
got
you
to
said
hit-
that was your fourth? Sorry.
Yeah, fourth.
Yeah, it was my fourth one. It was
Of
my
hitting
first.
every city in the country.
No, not every city.
Well,
There's a lot
no,
of cities,
sorry,
bro.
every province is what I meant to say.
province. Yeah, I know. I feel you. Yeah, all 10 provinces.
Okay.
I'm just missing the territories, but that's up north and it's pretty cold, so I'm not really ready to go up there,
There's
man.
probably not
I'm
much
gonna go
going
down
on.
south before I go up north, man. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No offense to anybody's listening who's from up north, man. I love Canada. We
Appreciate
up north
all
already,
y'all, yeah.
So.
Fucking there could be, man.
But yeah, man. So it's my fourth one. It's my first full Canadian one, though.
Okay.
My last one last year was 7 provinces. The one before was just Ontario. So I started just Ontario, and then I did. I kind of did a big leap from there. So just Ontario,
man, I would
7
say so.
provinces, Yeah.
Do you see much love from the States?
I have a couple people. Yeah,
Like enough to go down there?
You know what? Sometimes if you don't have a following over there, you got to create a following. over there.
True, yeah.
And one way to create a following over there is by going over there to perform. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta do.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta show them the product.
Almost start
before
from
they
the
buy it.
bottom.
A lot of these provinces, like, okay, the 7 that I did last year, I seen a lot of familiar faces. But I mean, the other 3, which were actually great, like the ones that were missing were probably the best provinces. I'm not gonna lie, I was missing Manitoba, Alberta, and BC.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that I added on this year, and I was like, wow. Like, I think it was early April, and we're like in Kamloops, and it was like people were mowing the grass in their shorts. So I was like, wow.
That's in BC, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I've never been there, man.
BC's crazy. Yeah, that's that way. BC's crazy. Where did you hit in Manitoba though? Winnipeg?
I hit Winnipeg and I hit Brandon.
Brandon, yeah.
Brandon is good, man.
Yeah, but no doubt.
I love
good.
the energy there, man. The venue was probably the best venue of the whole tour, man.
Yeah.
There's a light guy, there's a sound guy, and then every time we're like,
sick.
yo, make some noise. Then like the light guy would boost the lights, the white lights, so it's like the people are like, whoa, and then it would dim
sick.
down again. Like it was just
He
so
was
like
on point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so like
good.
you can't. I think that's the next step up. Okay, you do shows, you travel and everything like that, and then, like. I've seen a show like Wiz Khalifa, and he had like a whole light show, but like synchronized with his music. You know what I mean? Moving lights
That's
there,
next
and that's
level.
the next level. Then you can go ahead and ask for a bigger rider and this and that, and he had a full out band playing with his music. I was like, wow, that's so impressive, man. You know?
A lot of artists are getting into the live band behind them. I find.
It's more appealing.
Yeah, exactly.
They want to see a show. They want to see people fly around and shit.
Yeah,
if
exactly.
They can, you know? Play the drums backwards, you know what I mean? Like, upside down in a cage.
It's a Motley Crue shit.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Sure.
I'm glad you got that, bro.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was referring to. Fuck, man.
Yeah, true rockers right there.
Yeah, I actually watched that fucking
The Dirt.
The Dirt.
Yeah,
it's
I
pretty
like
good.
that, man. That was
Yeah,
a
it was
good
pretty
one.
good.
Fuck yeah.
Pretty good. MGK did a pretty good job for Tommy Lee, I suppose.
Well,
You know what? I didn't even realize it was him at first.
Yeah,
Yeah, and because no tattoos, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, there's a
I covered
resemblance.
it up.
Like,
Yeah,
he's got no
covered him up.
tattoos, but hey,
Yeah.
little makeup,
Yeah.
could take any tattoo off, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely covered it up well.
So I just want to say quickly, going back to when you were talking about doing shows in like other places to get like a following, you know what I mean? Did I read somewhere recently that you got booked in Paris?
Yeah.
Yo, congrats,
You know what?
man.
I forgot about that. Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, thanks,
How
man.
about we cheers
Yeah,
to
cheers,
that?
bro.
Gang.
Much love.
Hey, wait, I'm taking the good stuff.
Oh,
Hey,
I wish
hey. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's just like the universe is talks to me. I believe that stuff.
So how the fuck did that come about, anyways?
Yeah, tell us about that.
Well, I do a lot of research, and I look for venues and stuff like that. Like, I kind of, I guess, figured out the recipe on how to book venues, and then, you do your research in the city, and you find out, what artists are in the city, and then I go contact them, and I go, you just got to talk to them. You got to network, you got to go talk. It's not by staying in your own town and just staying yourself that you're going to get anywhere. You have to go talk to these people. So that's what I did, man, you know what I'm saying? And then I ended up locking one in, and I've already got like 10 artists it's going to be our headlining show in Paris, man.
That's sick, yo.
Yeah, so
Hell yeah.
we're aiming for October. Everything's lining up. We know we're going to rent the car. So we're already there. I think we're going to aim to get a little bit more cities and countries. You know what I mean? Probably even have a tour out there, you know what I mean?
Oh, that'd be dope.
Yeah, so...
So I was just gonna say, do you know Aaron Cohen? He's from New York,
Okay.
New York rapper, but he's played in Ottawa a few times.
Yeah.
But he's really big in Europe, and I'm pretty sure a lot of it is like France and shit and Germany and stuff.
Big in the...
Well, my whole point is, I actually lost my point now. Is he said, he straight up said, he's like, yeah, man, he's like, like they fucking like they love our music.
Maybe he commented on my post. Maybe
I bet
someone
he
did comment. Did he live there at one point or?
He went and he went there for I don't know how long, but he went there. So he met a guy on the internet, man.
That's right.
And the guy was from like Brussels or some shit. Benny from Brussels. That's
Benny from Brussels.
Yeah. That's not actually France. It's an ex-country. It's in Belgium.
Yeah. But he was living in.
I'm learning my own geography with this, man. I'm telling you, man.
That's awesome, man.
He was from Brussels, but he lived in fucking Paris, I think, or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But anyways, so he just met him on the internet, and the guy said, he's like, man, he's like, if you come here, he's like, I got a place for you to stay, I got a studio, and I got a video guy and shit. And he said one day they were chilling out, and he's like, okay, let's go to the studio. Went to the studio, he made, I think it's Who Want What. And then he fucking, as soon as they were done the song, but he's like, okay, let's go. We got to go to fucking whatever square. He's like, there's like 100 people waiting for us. We're going to shoot the video for this. And he's like, what? Seriously? And he said, buddy hooked it up. He did a little bit of a tour, and what he did is, what do you call it? Fucking the backups and shit for him or whatever. Anyways, but my whole point of all that was that, yeah, like, so he said, he's like, yeah, like, they love our music over there because it's different, right? It's something different, right?
Different
and
accent,
it's hip
different
hop,
everything.
right?
I've came to understand that many people, like, you're trying so hard in your city, and like people go pay like $40 to go see this big artist that's not even from the city, and they won't pay $10 to go see you at the, you know what I'm saying? So like, I feel that if you got to get big outside of Canada or outside of your city, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You get big outside of your city, then they'll accept you a bit more. You get accepted outside of your country, then your country's gonna embrace you a bit more, and then that's
True.
like look how Mercury's did it.
I was
man.
just gonna say Mercury's
he's a good example,
right now.
and you know what? I look up to him. And I watch what he does. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he did. He did Canada, and then he went and did Australia, I believe.
Yeah.
And then he did the States.
Yeah.
And then I think he did Europe. I think he did Europe before that. But anyways, he did like boom, 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 one after the other. You know what I mean? Like it seems like he just figured out the recipe and just went at it.
Yeah.
He's got a big team behind him. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I'm saying?
We were talking about
and that's cool.
this.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people were like, "Oh yeah, West Coast has got this and this and this. What does Ontario have? What do you guys have?" They're actually saying, "What does Ottawa have?"
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. That's when the list came out there. The whole thing.
Yeah.
People were auditioning on that, and they're like, "Oh, we have all this and this and this in Vancouver." I'm like, "All right, bud." Okay.
It's Vancouver and Toronto,
yeah, Toronto's,
It's pretty big.
Toronto, yeah. Because then when I said, I named like Drake and all them, he's like, "Oh, well, you're in Ottawa, not Toronto." I'm like, I thought you meant your province, I'm just dishing people from my province. Not dishing, but,
for sure.
telling people from my province.
And it's truth, man.
Yeah, well, and
for 4 hours away, what's
but then
the
I told him,
difference?
like, regardless, we're all from the same country, man. We should just all rise together, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not
Canada
a competition.
It's
not a competition.
Absolutely, man.
That's how I see it.
Yeah, we've
Canadian
seen what the dumb
rappers
East Coast, West Coast nonsense.
This is the States, man.
We've already seen that
Tupac
shit.
and Biggie,
Right?
Canada, man. What are you saying?
Yeah.
Let's just all get along up here.
Who would it be? We'd have like classified and Mercury. East and West. You know what I mean?
But like as for and Drake, I guess.
He's
he's
central,
like central, But like as for Ottawa and Toronto, like music wise, I know people who have gone from Ottawa to Toronto to try and like get bigger because like they think Toronto is like more has a better scene. But I've seen people do the opposite. Like
Sorry.
what's the guy's name?
Dax?
No, shit, man. I don't want to say it, but he Johnny Bravo.
Yeah.
I heard that he moved from Toronto to Ottawa because he felt like there was more opportunity here. You know what I mean? But like Philly moves, they told me they moved to Toronto because they thought there was more in Toronto.
I think Toronto's popping up
grass
more,
is always greener, right?
True that,
I suppose, man. I don't know.
Well, Toronto has a way bigger population.
It
right?
has.
So if you want to get people,
millions.
to hear
Toronto's
it,
like the gateway to New York, and because they're right by each other, right? It's right by the
Both
States.
Big cities, yeah.
So you got a lot of people from the States going to Toronto to go see shows or whatever, So
as close as it gets to the States, it's Vancouver, Toronto. in
Yeah,
Canada.
100%.
Yeah,
Anyways,
right,
that's yeah.
Well, I don't know, man. I'd say it's Toronto, Vancouver. There's a lot more mainstream Toronto artists than Vancouver.
I
depends
agree.
how you want to
I
look at
definitely
it.
wasn't ranking them when I said
No,
it.
oh,
Okay.
yeah, okay. I thought you were
Yeah. I
Okay.
agree. I would almost agree.
Alright.
At this point in time, man, I would definitely
Well, man,
agree.
like OVO is actually like really fucking
Huge, man.
Like,
There's so many.
There's
You know
like
what's cool
Nav
about
and
that?
shit. They got a bunch
Yeah,
of
there's
people
so
popping
many
up,
people
right?
They're
coming out of
getting more
Toronto.
people coming out, more people coming out. As opposed, I don't want to hate on auto rappers, but like look at Belly, he brought out, man. You know, he's big. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel that's cool for what Toronto's doing. They're actually helping each other out, as
Yeah, you're
opposed to
right.
here, people are just kind of trying to do their own
Man.
thing.
And
I've had
they
this conversation
beefing,
too
man.
many
A lot of
times
people are
lately.
beefing with one another around here.
Yeah,
just was
They
at a-
should be lifting
Belly
each
and
other
Masari,
up.
they started up together, and then they're like beefing, and no one's coming out from Ottawa. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not by the lights of them, anyways.
See,
Exactly.
we
You know?
talked about this on a previous podcast, and then just the other day, whenever I was at that video shoot, I was talking to
Salute.
Ruckus and them about it, and we were talking about the same thing. Is that like it's and I think I brought this up before. Is the picture is two sets of stairs. The one set of stairs is Atlanta rappers, and it's everyone. There's one dude on every set of stairs, and they're all holding each other's hands, helping each other
I
up.
think I've seen that.
And then the bottom one is Florida rappers, and there's one dude at the top. There's one guy falling down the stairs. There's a guy at the
punching him in
bottom
the
like trying to
face.
get up. Like,
no doubt.
And it's all like a battle against each other, you know, and no one's helping each other. And I think, like I said, I think I said this before on the show, was I made that same reference and said that Ottawa is similar to that, where like everyone's in their own lane and they're not, you know what I mean? We're like Ottawa, you know what I mean? We're not fucking Styles the Prophet.
I
or,
think
you know,
it's like I think I've had this conversation with you. It's a famine mentality where it's like you feel that if someone else is succeeding, it's taking away from your ability to succeed.
True.
Like there's
A lot
only
of
Did you say a
certain amount-
famine mentality?
Yeah, like
Nice,
there's
I like
not
that,
like there's
yeah.
not enough to go around. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So, but there is like if you all help each other out to get
Of
it,
course, man.
you know, then everyone eats, right? But it's like the
Yeah.
famine mentality
I would
is.
just say just to like toss that. You got that mentality, man. You put us on on your show.
Our first show.
Yeah, that was-
we
that's
weren't even
going back
pushing
to-
our own finished music at that point, and you still gave us that opportunity.
I feel blessed if you give people that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
nobody ever hit me up my DMs, be like, yo, man, like, you trying to perform, you know, this date, then. Like,
Yeah.
I never had that. I
Yeah.
had to go and, you know.
And you got a lot of dudes on it too, which was sick, man.
Yeah,
Like,
that
you-
was a sick
There was like
lineup.
what 12? Like
A lot.
That's a good
So,
way. Like,
I don't know,
Even
it's a-
fucking Jeff Drastic, we've had him on here. He like was.
I-
you
he-
Saying
put
you
him on
put
first.
Sutton on for the first time, yeah,
I did
drastic.
as
That's
well,
right,
man.
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, man. You know, and I just feel blessed to be able to give it back. Like I said, I never had that opportunity. And starting out, man, nobody's ever booking me in Ottawa at all, man. Like I had to like go online and find promoters from Toronto, and the same
Yeah.
thing. I started out doing, I did showcases in Toronto. It wasn't even opening for artists. It was just showcases, and I'm like, I did that for a full year, where I had to pretty much sell tickets, but I wasn't selling any, so I was just paying in. And people were just saying, "You're stupid, man. Why are you paying your tickets?" I'm like, you know what?
advertising.
I'd rather
man.
to pay that, man, than to sit at home and do nothing. Like,
Yeah,
I'm still
yeah.
advancing. I'm networking. I'm meeting people, you know.
For sure.
And
Yeah,
that gave me the
experience.
confidence to be able to travel and do my music. You know, at first, everything
Yeah.
happens for a reason, I find, man. And people, oh, you're wasting your money. You're buying your own tickets, this and that. No, you know, after a while, man, I was selling tickets in Toronto. It's not even my city.
Yeah.
And people started seeing that. And I made a network with people. I started opening for bigger names like the Locks. I got on
No
the Mad
way.
Child tour.
Really?
I got on, yeah, that was a couple years ago.
Styles P.
Chic Luch, yeah, man.
Oh man.
So and then after people started seeing that, and they're like, "Oh, shit, this guy got into something." Like
That must be
you know,
amazing,
you know. And then after that, that's when people started noticing me, and then I was able to get like more connects in Ottawa, and I kind of took the back door in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how it is. And then
But
after
see,
that, I just started booking my own shows. I was
You
like,
gotta
whatever,
invest
man.
in yourself, you know. So like even
100%.
like you said, doing those showcases and shit, like in the long run, yeah, like okay, that is dumb. Whatever, you fucking paid the money in and didn't sell any tickets or whatever, right? But you're getting your name out there. You're going to the show. You're talking to the people.
experience.
Fucking yeah, exactly.
Meeting the people, meeting the promoters, making new fans, connections, man.
And
like,
you got to put that money into yourself, man. You know, like
Absolutely.
I agree.
yeah, man, 100%.
gets you out there and shit.
You know, if everybody was trying to just blow up overnight, and yeah, okay, like
It
some
happens,
artists
but-
are good, but you know what? You know what's so sad about it is that the best rapper is always going to be rapping in his basement. He doesn't have the drive, the motivation. He needs like
Yeah.
someone to pick him up, motivate him, to push him to do this and that.
True that.
You know what it is nowadays, man? I'll tell you, it's 70% business, 30% talent, man. I'm telling you, if you know
True,
the
man.
business
It's a numbers
and everything,
game. It's a
you
numbers
show up.
game.
You know, it is if you have your business mind, or unless you get into contact with someone who is that business minded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what it comes down to. It's more of a business rather than talent nowadays because you're a product. You're a brand now.
Yeah.
You know,
That's the way I
Mr.
always
Jones
looked
brand.
at it.
You know, so it's you're like Adidas or like Nike now. You got to sell your brand. You know, and you got to make people want to buy your brand, and so you want to make people want to buy into your lifestyle. So that's why like a lot of times the rapper's not even that great, but just his video, just the way what he's wearing or what he's portraying, or what he's doing. He's doing drugs, whatever. Kids are like, oh shit, you know, I want to live his life. You know, fuck bitches, and you know what I'm saying?
Oh, he said Xanax.
All about perception, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. So that's what it is. It's all
half of those rappers aren't even doing that. Like,
but that's just
a hot rapper on the scene right now.
Whatever, man.
This is new, man. Oh,
a hot rapper on the scene right now who's fully admitted to not even being about what he's rapping about is Lil Tecca. You guys know who this Lil Tecca guy is?
I don't think so.
You look him up. He even looks nerdy. You know,
it's Lil Pump's little cousin, bro.
Right. He's rapping about guns and all that shit, but he's straight up.
Sounds like Slim Jesus, bro. Remember that?
Exactly.
You got his mic snatching out of him, bro.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. That was crazy.
This dude's living with his mom. You know what I mean? Like it's.
Thanks, man.
Want some of that, man?
Yeah, I'll take it. But yeah, you know what I mean? All about perception, man.
But yeah,
whatever you can make people believe what you're doing.
But like the industry has fucking
doesn't even have to be really what you're doing.
Industry plans. And like I may have even brought this up. I feel like I said this recently, but so there was this girl, there probably still is this girl, but what's her name, man? But anyways, it doesn't matter. She's like Goth Baby or something like that. And she has a song with Lil Xanax and Trippie Redd, and like I watched a video how they're saying that this chick, if you look at like her old shit, she went by a different name and she was like totally different style, and then all of a sudden like now she's in a video with fucking Trippie Redd and Lil Xanax and has a song with them and shit. And so they're like, where'd she get the money and why is she doing this? And she's got face tattoos and stuff. So they're saying that some fucking record label basically took this chick and was like, are you willing to fucking do all this shit? Get a face tattoo, go on a song with these guys. And like, and that's just it, is they just use, say, Lil Xan and Trippie Redd to get this chick making, you know, because they said if you look at her like goth thing or whatever, like that new persona, you don't see anything until that video. That was
like Stitches too, man.
Yeah, true.
In the beginning, it was little something as well. Little Phil, man. You know, I believe that, man. How much are you willing to sell your soul to get famous? And you know, I think that this is why, like you said, I think it makes sense. These record labels or executives are like contacting these children and trying to make it like, okay, they have got famous overnight, but no, I think they call it the underdog effect. I read up on that.
Okay.
And it's like that's what they did to get like it looks like they got famous overnight. So where the fuck was I going with this?
I think you know what I think what it is. It goes back to what you were saying earlier about like, when
I don't need this no more.
It's going around too much. So what were you talking about? Industry.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. I had a brain fart. It came back. So that's why a lot of these artists are falling off because they're not meeting the quota.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Because when you sign a record label deal, you have to do like 3 albums and they'll front you everything, all the videos. I'll pay for it, you know. But okay, well, you got to pay me triple and this much. So like, you know, it's maybe one of the reasons why we're not hearing Lil Xanax anymore that much.
Well, Lil Xan fucking says last winter, he said in March he was going to put out an album and he was quitting because that was his last project that he owed them.
Well, that's what he's telling the op.
He said he hates it.
Yeah,
he said he hates it. And like,
that's right. I remember him smashing the cars and shit. I've seen videos like that. They didn't make the quota, man. So like, fuck it, we're dropping your ass, man. After your next album, man, you haven't paid us enough. You know, we're renting, you know, big cars, making big bucks in your videos.
And he only put out a few songs here or there. They were all fucking pretty decent, but he didn't put out. As far as I know, he didn't put out a lot of fucking shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. He says he has 2 projects. He said, like you said, he's supposed to make 3, right? He said he made 2, and the next one was supposed to be coming in March, and he fucking was gonna quit. But it didn't. I don't think it came.
It hasn't come yet. Yeah.
It's crazy, man. I think about it, how underdeveloped Canada is in that way, because we don't have these overnight sensations, this and that. You know, it's all based in the States, and that's what it is. There's people like that.
Yeah, you get the odd Bieber.
Yeah. It happened once. You know what I mean? But like, there's not enough attention in Canada. It's coming more than before. Before
Yeah.
there's like 3 artists.
Absolutely,
And
yeah.
Most Canadians
Now it's
go
getting a
down
lot
to the
bigger.
States to get their fame, right?
True,
That's
true.
where their fame comes from.
Well,
That's
even
true.
I remember I was talking about the Nelk Boys earlier. So those guys are from Toronto, and fucking they go and like live in Los Angeles or whatever, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because that's where the cloud's at.
Mhm.
No, but that's where everything is, right? You know what I mean? Like then they can go.
They're
How
New
easy
York.
it to go find FouseyTube or whatever his name is and go do a thing with him. You know what I mean? To find other people and collab with other people, you know?
Yeah.
Because
just
everyone's like there, right? But-
collaborates or
That's-
congregates in LA.
Mhm.
It's just like the big.
But
spot.
even picture like say like Joe Rogan fucking doing the podcast, or like what's it called No Jumper. I was gonna say No Hitter. No Jumper doing their podcast, right? Like they're like in LA, you know what I mean? So like how easy is it to fucking be like, oh, Lil Xan stopped by, or fucking, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
everyone's
right
this
there.
guy fucking, oh, like, or for Joe Rogan to be like, oh, we got Will Ferrell on because he lives 3
Yeah.
blocks away from the studio
Yeah,
or whatever, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
So all the opportunities are right there knocking at their door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we have to, like, okay, here's another thing. Like, I just toured Canada, you know what I'm saying? And it's far to get from one city to another, you know?
Yeah.
As opposed in the States, they have, like, huge population all densed up. Like, okay, like Toronto, fine, but they have that, like, more densely. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, they have a lot of, look at New York, that's crazy, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You can
Man.
do, like, 5 shows in New York in your tour, you know what I mean? And it'll be sold out, all 5 of them, because
Yeah.
different locations. It's crazy,
Yeah.
just the
And
population,
you
you know?
still didn't even see half the population.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, fuck.
Right? So, and then here we have to cover so much more,
Figure out that out.
more, you know,
It's true.
length or
Land,
space and
yeah.
land or whatever, you know. So that's another thing that these Americans have, you know.
You don't gotta travel too far.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
And on top of it, the fucking, like me, fucking, like I drive here for like an hour or whatever, right?
Yeah, to do this.
But
yeah.
like, there's, I forget where I'm going with. Oh, but there's like nothing where I'm coming from, right? So I'm like coming to like
yeah,
a
exactly.
populated
You
area,
wouldn't
right?
be doing any of this. Yeah.
Whereas you could be like you're saying, you could be driving from one city to the next in the States, which would be that 40 minutes to an hour drive. But you're going to another place that's like 3 million people.
Yeah,
or
like
something,
no
you know
one
what I
there
mean?
was at the last show you
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
There,
So like, yeah, and like, and
It's
that's the
all
other thing
new
too is whenever you
people.
get there, there's a whole nother fucking
That's that
like
many
cycle
more
of
new
people or
fans.
circle of people are like, yeah, exactly, right?
So there's like
Kinda just rambling
19.5 million people in New York. Right?
Yeah,
How many are in China?
I don't know. It's in the billions.
I
think
that's
India's
going
got
to
the most.
another level.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
because I remember they made a comparison to China and New York.
New York?
Like there's the same amount of people in New York as China, but China's like not even half the size of it or something like that.
Wait, what?
But
I would not think that.
no, I know, and no, I'm just saying I just made that up.
Okay.
But I'm saying that I heard something like that. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
And,
yeah.
like,
I'm just saying that. Well, like Canada is what 35 million people, 30-some million. So if you-
Canada, yeah, it's
yeah,
like
so the
30s.
entire like country of Canada, 30 whatever million. But then you got New York, which is like you say, like crammed full of people.
Yeah.
like almost 20 million people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like 2/3 the amount of the population of this entire
yeah,
country.
and
in
fits
the
it's
in that.
size of like
one
what,
city.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, if you
Fuck.
it's,
It'd be like pretty much like Toronto,
But-
Ottawa, and another city.
But see, like-
Montreal.
But like,
Yeah, there you go,
I heard some
Montreal.
stat. It was actually like a comedian or something like that, and I forget all the exact details. But Manhattan is like heavily like it's like 90% millionaires or something like that.
Oh, fuck.
and
no doubt.
it's like so there's
Wall
so
Street.
many. There's I forget however many people, but there's a lot of people that live there, and 90% of them or 90-some% of them are millionaires. And so like the one joke the guy made was he's like, you see some guy walking around down this side of the street and fucking, you know, he looks like fucking bum or whatever, you know what I mean? You see this guy wearing a suit and they're walking up to the corner and boom, they collide and he's like, $7 million just ran into each other. But no, point is that fucking there's a lot of
There's a lot
millionaires
of
there.
money.
Yeah, I
a
don't
lot
know.
of people
sorry.
and a lot of money in a big city like New York, as
Yeah.
opposed to
I tried to tie that in, but
Ottawa.
I,
yeah. There's a big difference for sure. But we're getting there though. We just hit 1 million people, right?
Apparently, we just hit 1 million. Yeah.
yeah. A milli.
Doing big
right.
things, Ottawa.
Hey, yeah.
That's what's up.
Fuck, that
How's
was
your drink,
good,
man?
That was flawless. Flawless victory.
Do you want one? You want another one?
Uh,
You gotta drive.
I do have to drive. I do have to. You know what? I'll be responsible. I'll take that one.
There you go.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to take a little break here.
Shit, man. Hey, do what you gotta do, bro.
Okay, do what you gotta do, bro.
Wow. That one hit me in the throat.
Right in the tickler.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man.
Wow.
So yeah, man, what's new and up and coming other than you're getting planned for a new tour in October? Is that what I heard you saying earlier?
Yeah, man. I'm probably jumping on that's the show in France. That's for sure.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Paris.
You ever been there, man?
I know October. No, I've never been to Europe, man.
That's so
I've
sick,
only
man.
left Canada once. I went to Cuba,
Nice.
and I ended up performing there anyway. I was there on leisure.
Seriously?
Yeah, and on the resort. Yeah, it's kind
Nice.
of cool. One time I got too drunk though, so it's kind of
Yeah.
slurring my words, but.
Yeah,
It's gonna say when you got to open the bar, bro. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, pretty
Open
drunk
bar,
last
all
weekend.
inclusive, man. Yeesh, could
They'll
be
do some
dangerous.
damage, yeah, for
Just
sure.
a little bit.
Fuck.
Just saying.
Yeah, open bar, man.
Yeah, man. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I got some music videos in the works, man. I got maybe one coming up next week.
Oh, maybe.
I got one on the 14th for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I
sick.
mean, one because I do my own videos as well.
Yeah.
I do a bit of everything, you know what I mean? I book shows, I book tours, I book, I've fucked with photos, with Photoshop, I've fucked videos and audio and everything. You know, like I said, I noticed your diploma on the wall. I was like, wow, man, it's impressive, you know, so,
Appreciate it.
you know, you could touch down on a lot of different things when you know so much, you know, and you could always broaden your knowledge, right?
Absolutely.
So that's it, man. I was dwelling in that, and so I always sometimes like during the month I'll pay my guy to do a video, and in the meantime I'll film my own video. You know what I mean? It's this way because it takes a bit more time than him.
Yeah.
Like obviously he does that for a living, so he just like him, it's one shot. We went to school. They didn't really dwell into the whole video editing and everything, right? But I mean, it kind of correlates with the audio, right? So I was like, let's throw some video into that. It's like, you know, also I got the Vegas Pro. I also mess with Final Cut. So, you know, you kind of,
Yeah, I think
you check up
Premiere Pro is
tutorials and
nice.
this and that. You know, after I took that course, man, the audio engineering course, after that, I was like, I'm happy I got the paper and everything, but I mean, this is kind of shit I could just, if I really wanted to and I knew what I wanted to learn, I could just go in tutorials and figure that out, man. Everything's at
Yeah.
their fingertips nowadays. But
True.
I would not have that piece of paper saying that, hey, I'm certified, this and,
And that's
that,
the difference. And it's like the one-on-one too. I find like, for me anyways, like I can sit here and watch a YouTube video and try to like, I can, you know, pause it, rewind it, listen back, you know, and really try to grasp something. But I find just like the in-studio experience that I got from going to that course, you know, sitting down with an instructor, like having them explain things, like being surrounded by other people that like were.
But you were
really
already
good at
doing
their
it
crafts.
before you went to your course, right?
Yeah, I dabbled.
Yeah,
like,
see, I feel
forever.
that way too. But when I took my course, the people that were there, sure, they were very musically inclined. They played drums, everything. They were great. And I was like, I'm the only rapper here, type thing, you know? But then when it came to like they were like smart, like book smart. But when it came to the actual doing it, they were like, how do I do this and this? And us having already a prior knowledge to it, we were like, okay, yeah, this is easy activity, you know? Like, so I feel like a lot of the other people that were in the class, that was their situation, but because I already
They got the
did that.
theory.
Yeah, they
They
got
had
the
the
theory
theory.
down, all the things. Like they're getting like super good notes, grades on their like exams. Like I had some good notes, good grades too. But I mean, like there's I had a little mistake. I was, how'd I get that wrong? This guy's like, oh yeah, that's it. You know, I was like, fuck you, man. But I mean, when it came down to like the actual, not the theory, but like the how do you say that?
Like, I guess like maybe
The hands-on,
physical,
the
yeah.
physical exams or whatever, like you know, I killed them, like
Yeah.
you know, surpassed them, you know. Even the teachers like, oh my god, like there's one of them was like we had to do like a radio jingle or something like that. I'm sure you had like something like that too.
Yeah, different like
You have to
projects
do
and
radio,
shit.
a little project here and there. So you know, I was like, you know, they didn't expect that from me, type thing, you know. So that was cool, man.
Yeah,
Good
it was
experience.
And it was a good experience for sure. Like I said, I'm glad,
So you
I'm
did the
glad I
same,
did
like
that.
went to the same place too?
Not the same exact school, but
the same
I
one.
assume it's the same. It's audio recording engineering.
Yeah, okay,
course,
sick, man.
yeah. So it's the same diploma.
Yeah.
Same school. Yeah.
Yeah. Gang.
Yeah, man. Fuck it. That's good.
That's
I'll
sick.
feel-
By the way,
Feeling
looking
good.
fly as hell.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, yo,
Rocking the
that
Pretty
shirt
fly
is
for a
pretty
white guy, you know what I'm saying? Hey. You know what I'm saying, man? Pretty sure that was Offspring that came up with that, man. Or
Yeah.
that's where I learned
Yeah.
it from, man. Yeah, it was a good song back in the day. I'm not gonna
Fucking
lie,
right.
man.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yo, speaking of good songs,
I like all sorts of music, man. Not just rap. You know,
Yeah.
I always say rap, but you know,
What
I
else
don't
you
consider myself a
into?
rapper, man. I consider myself an artist, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because I'm
Yeah.
kind of all around. I'll do like some commercial shit. I'll do some boom bap. I'll do some trap shit. I'll do some monotune shit. I'll do some lover boy shit. You know, I'll do, I'll do some
Love
fucking
it.
reggaeton shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We get it down, get the
That's
ladies
sick.
dancing. Let's do it. Set the vibe. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
I like to have a
Yeah.
song for every emotion, every vibe. You know, because
For
music
sure.
sets the mood, right?
Everyone's
Well,
looking
don't
for
force yourself.
exactly
And
that.
Well, and that's good too, because like, so like my buddy DJs and shit, right? And he says, you know, like you got to know the songs that you're putting on and shit, because you're gonna like make it a fucking emotional roller coaster, right? So you're gonna have it like crazy, hectic. You're gonna have it slow, and like I got you. You're gonna have it crazy, and you're gonna have it slow and shit and whatever, right? You're gonna have like lovey-dovey and whatever, right? But that's like music that's already like made in there or whatever, right? So if you yourself as an artist and it's your set and you're on, and you can like even say read the room, and you're like, oh wait a second, I'm not doing that or whatever, right? I'm gonna do this. That actually makes me think of a story. I forget who it was, but I just
You
recently
saying
saw.
your friend's a DJ?
Yeah.
Okay, me too.
yeah.
A friend who
Okay, yeah.
DJ, and yeah, they can feel the room, the energy, man.
Yeah, and like so, what I'm saying is, it with an, as an
It's
artist,
funny shit,
as an
man.
artist or like a performer, if you can have
I've seen it firsthand
that,
too.
like
It's crazy.
eclectic fucking range or whatever, right? Then you can even do the same thing, right? Like you're not just steady boom bap, boom
As an
bap,
artist,
boom
yeah.
bap, boom bap. Oh, no one
Yeah.
felt it. You're like boom bap, no one's feeling it, and then you do this or whatever, right?
Switch it up.
And like I said, it reminds me of a story, and I can't remember who it was, but I just saw someone perform recently, and you might even remember this, but they went to do a song, and they were like, oh, I'm going to do some fucking, I think it was Aaron Cohen. And he's
Yeah.
like, I'm going to do some
Slower stuff? Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
and this
Aaron.
song came on. He's like, oh, wait. He's like, that's the wrong
Yeah,
song or whatever,
yeah,
right? He's like,
yeah.
fuck it, we'll do it anyways. And in my mind, I felt like he was like, you know what? He had it written in his head. He was going to go in that direction and have
Yeah.
this like slower shit come on. But when that came on, he's like, fuck
He
it.
wasn't gonna
This is
break
the way
the
the
vibe.
room's, yeah,
Yeah.
like this is the way the vibe is.
Interacting, yeah.
So
Yeah.
the reason why I say that is when you have that, like you do, where you can do all these different songs, right? Like different like genres and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Then you can pull it out of your pocket and be like, oh,
Yeah.
no one's feeling this.
Yeah, like I
I'm
say,
gonna
don't,
fuck
Yeah,
don't put yourself in a
for
box.
sure, man.
You gotta do
Absolutely.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, man, when you think about it.
For sure.
But I think a step even above that is to be able to do all these type of songs and be able to perform them live, man. You know, and
Yeah.
get the crowd into your whole life, your whole story, and feel that they're captivating. You know, I used to just I learned a lot from performing and stuff, and sometimes I used to just throw songs back to back and do mashups, and I don't talk at all. And I used to be afraid of talking, but
Yeah.
then sometimes you got to talk and tell a little story about how that song came to be.
Yeah.
And then it brings them into your life a little bit, and they see that
For
you're a real
sh-
person, and
for
you
sure.
also had issues or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So they
Yeah.
relate to that,
Yeah,
and
man.
they're like, oh shit, I'll fuck with that. They'll stick around a little bit longer, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it makes it more like intimate.
You bring them into your world, you know, and that's initially what it is when you're a songwriter, you write songs. You know, it's basically things that you've lived or, you know, that you've overcome or whatever, you know, and it only, I only realized this until, recently that, I had some people contact me. They're like, yo, man, this one song, you sold me the CD 7 years ago, man. And he hit me on Facebook or something. And then he's like, this one song, it helped me get through a hard time in my life, man. I was like, whoa, that's strong. Really? He's like, yeah, man. I felt suicidal, this and that. And the song just cheered me up all the time, man. It was upbeat. I was like, whoa, that's more powerful than anything I've ever witnessed making music. You know what I
No
mean?
doubt.
So when you go and touch people on that level, that's just, raises the bar a little bit. And
That's
you're
what
like,
it's all
whoa,
about, man.
maybe I'm doing this, but I'm thinking about doing this for these reasons. But at the same time, it's like I'm actually doing it for other people and for other things that I didn't
Yeah.
really realize I was doing it for, So when you get, it hits close to home too sometimes, because you always know someone in your entourage, someone who's not feeling too good, or you know what I'm saying? And then,
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So it's cool that I can help people with lyrics and shit like that. So
Yeah,
it's
well-
important, man.
Hell yeah.
Lyrics are powerful, man.
And also
Absolutely.
too, just how you were saying that too, it makes me think
what?
like it would
Respect,
give you
bro.
just
it's like
just like-
it's
It's
golden
right there.
rings on it.
like
Sorry, bro.
just how you were saying that made me think too that Oh shit, I forget now.
You smoke too much weed, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
It's
What
too
were we
much
talking
good
about?
weed, bro.
Yeah, that's a good weed.
What?
I forget.
What?
Oh well, it's gone.
Fuck, weed is legal, bro. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I still hide that shit, man. Like it's illegal, bro. In my car,
Yeah,
I that
yeah.
shit.
You
Like,
know what I was thinking about the other day? There's gonna be like kids that are like,
yeah.
what,
fuck
like
that, man.
maybe 10 now that grow up in a few years.
Like my
Still
son.
never know what it was.
Exactly.
Yeah,
to,
man,
like,
like,
You know,
hustle
I see
for
the cops
fucking
behind
weed,
me.
you
I don't
know?
even have a fucking, not even a little speck of weed on me, man. I'm like, I'm driving, man. I'm fucking looking in the rear view. I'm stressed, man. I'm like, nah, what the hell? You know, and I got nothing on me, but these kids, they won't know. They won't
know.
have to
And
live
and
what we had to live
exactly.
through.
Yeah,
and that's a good thing. Like,
You know what I'm saying?
It's a step in the right
Hallelujah.
direction.
You know what's funny about that though is like, so me and my buddy were talking one day, and we were talking about how like now you can get a DUI for like smoking weed, right?
Yeah.
But like back in the day, like I've been fucking
Oh yeah.
pulled over
And where
and
you
shit.
going with
I've been
this?
pulled over and shit where like they maybe didn't find the weed, or maybe did find the weed or whatever. But
Smells
either way,
like weed in the
smells
car,
like weed in
though.
the car. Yeah. Oh, it's
They
'cause
search everything,
'cause I
they
smoked
find
some
nothing.
weed earlier,
They'll
right?
let you go.
And yeah, exactly. Like, okay, yeah, see you later. Or if they did find like, you know, a small amount of weed, they like crush it on the ground. See you later. Drive away. I just
Yeah.
admitted to smoking weed and jump in the car and drive away. But that's now that it's legalized, they have those rules like regulated, right? Or like it's controlled or whatever.
Yeah.
So then me and him were talking about that, and he's like, man, he's like, you know what's funny is you hear like our parents and shit talking about like, oh yeah, fucking back in the day we'd be driving
The
our fucking
alcohol.
Mustang and shit, you know, getting all drunk and shit.
Yeah.
And the cops would pull them over and be like, oh, I fucking know you, fucking take their booze and tell them to go home or whatever.
Yeah.
Or fucking dump out the beers they have open and then tell them to go home or whatever, right? And now, like in our time, like fucking it was like they
Stomp
even
out
like
the
they
weed.
even lowered the fucking alcohol, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for us, alcohol was harsher, but
Yeah.
the weed was like, oh, like whatever, yeah, just crush it on the ground. See you later. You're
The
high,
same
cool,
thing,
whatever. All
yeah.
right, yeah. So we were saying like, man, we're gonna be like the old lads telling our kids like, oh yeah, man, they used to just make us crush our weed, or they just take our weed.
Yeah.
One time, a cop actually took the weed, jumped in the car, sat there for 5 minutes, drove away. My buddy goes, what do I do? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, does he have your
I would
license?
just leave.
Well, I thought he had his license. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. Does he have your license? He's like, no. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah. I
we
would
just drove
dip,
away.
Yeah.
But same thing.
It's hilarious.
In that scenario, the cop comes up, goes, smells like weed. I was rolling a joint.
Oh,
So I put the
God.
shit under the seat, and I had a bag of weed, like probably like a half ounce in my pocket. So fucking, we're just reeking up this truck, right? And the fucking cop comes up, he goes, yeah, whatever smells like weed. And I didn't want him to be smoking weed because he's the driver, right? So I'm like, yeah.
Shit.
I was smoking weed. And then I'm like,
I
oh
have a
shit.
story like that too.
I'm like, I can't give him my weed, right? Because I have too much, right? So I'm like, yeah, I was smoking weed. That's why it smells like weed, whatever, yeah. And he's like, okay, just give me the weed, whatever. And my buddy who was driving pulled the weed out and gave it to the cop.
Yeah.
So, like, I was smoking weed, but he had the weed. Like,
Yeah.
So that's when the cop jumped in the car and drove away.
Uh,
And I'm like, what the fuck, man? So we just fucked off. But
Of course.
yeah, as I was on tour and we're Ontario, I just got a speeding ticket, and then I'm like, fuck, I was pissed off. So I was like, fuck, I just pull over. I'm like, I need to smoke some weed, I'm
Yeah.
kind of stressed,
Yeah.
fuck this shit, So I pull over because Kai and World Peace, he doesn't smoke weed, or cigarettes or anything. So I pull over, there was like a little shop, a little corner store. I pull over and I go take a piss, and I'm like, and then I had a pipe on me, so I smoke a weed out the pipe, man, and then there's a guy at the store, and then Kyan's like, World Peace. His name is Kyan, actually, but, we call him
Okay.
World Peace.
yeah.
He's a super nice guy. You guys met him. And he's like, yeah,
Yeah.
man. He starts waving. I was like, hey, how you doing, man? And the guy was like, hey, have a good day. Type thing. I'm like, fuck. Okay. Well, I didn't think much of it. Get in the car and start driving. And then, I was feeling good. I smoked a joint. And just, mute. My song's bumping. I don't remember what song it was, but it's nice sunshine. I'm driving. And then I look in the rearview, I see the fucking sirens, not sirens, but the lights for the cops. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, I'm not speeding. I'm like, what's going on? What's the problem, So then the cop pulled
Shit.
over. She's like, yeah, you guys been smoking marijuana? We're like, no. Oh, what's funny, there's a guy at the store over there said that there's some guys driving in a Quebec plated car there, and there's, the driver got out and
No
smoked some marijuana.
way,
And was it you?
man.
I'm like, no, it wasn't me. And then she looks at me, she said, did you smoke marijuana? I was like, no. Then she looks at Kai and she says, did you smoke marijuana? And then he's like, yes. And I was like, this guy didn't even smoke. I was like, I look at him, I'm like,
Bro.
yeah, it was him, man. And then, she's like, okay, I'll be back. So then she went in the car. And then the first time it was funny. I'm like, you know, I'm on the road. I'm like, fuck, I
Good looking out.
I put it on the Instagram, you know, like, or on Facebook, you know, on the stories. I'm like, I got stopped for a speeding ticket. I'm like, fuck this, you know. And then the second time when that happened, I didn't pull out my phone to, you know, I was more stressed out. I was like, yo, because, you know, I was afraid to lose my license or what's going to happen. We won't be able to continue the tour. I was just, all these thoughts going through my head, man. I was like, what?
It's a bit nerve-wracking.
She came back. She's like, well, you don't look stoned there, sir. You know that, you know, marijuana is legal now, but it's not legal to consume marijuana while driving. So, you know, oh, no, we understand, ma'am. She's like, okay, well, you guys, and we obviously told her we're on tour. The car was packed like like sardines, bro. Like a can of sardines. It's crazy. So she kind of, I guess, fell for us, whatever. But after that, man, I was like, yo, I was left and smoked weed somewhere else, man. Because they advertise now, eh? They say, oh, report impaired driving for weed or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
And
but, we were nice to the guy. We're like, hey, have a good day type thing, you know?
What's
like,
he gonna get?
Us like that. Fuck.
It's not like he gets a fucking reward.
I was gonna say,
right?
it's not like he's getting money for it
I
or
was so
anything.
pissed, man. I was so pissed at this guy. Like, what the hell? What
People
kind of
like
person is
that just need to fall off the
People like that.
And the other thing, man, like one of my buddies said, man, there should be a license for smoking weed and driving. Like you go in and take the test,
you can smoke
and you get a little mark on your
drive.
license that says you're okay to smoke weed when you're driving.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Because man,
It's a medicine at the same time, man.
Yeah,
Some people need that shit for pain, Crohn's disease and shit, you know?
I
Like,
watched-
what the fuck is that?
you know Canada's Worst Driver TV show? I watched that show one time, and they fucking do, so whenever they get to the last two, they do a tour through fucking whatever city. This one was in Hamilton, I guess. So they do a tour through the city, and they get on the highway and shit. This girl, she was like, fucking, like, ditzy is like an understatement. Like, she was like, whack. Anyway, she's like this little blonde chick, whatever, and she just couldn't drive. She was whatever. Anyway, she get on the highway, she'd do like 70 and shit, and so anyways, she's like freaking out, crying. So they get off the highway or something, and fucking they pull over, and she's crying and blah blah blah, whatever. But she's got a prescription for Xanax for her anxiety.
Okay.
So he's like, well, do you have them on you? Okay, yeah, take one. So then she takes the
what
fucking
is it?
Xanax.
Or Xanax, yes.
So she takes it for her anxiety because she's all anxious or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So she takes it, and then it shows like them sitting there, like waiting, and then it's like time lapses half an hour, and then it's like, all right, are you good to go? She's like, yeah, okay, cool. Ooh, drive away, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I get it that it's prescribed, but I'm like, she just took Xanax.
Yeah, fuck that.
I tried it one time, and like I couldn't like. I took
you sleep, bro.
I took a sip of this
I'll
wine.
knock you out, man.
Yeah, man. Buddy brought me the wine. I took a sip of it. I put it down. I
You'll
put
sleep
on a
for
song
hours,
on his
bro.
computer.
Like
and
a
I woke
log.
up like this on the fucking couch that I was sitting on. He's sleeping on the other couch. I'm like, what the fuck happened, man? I'm like, did I fucking just fall asleep? He's like, yeah, no, we hung out for a bit and shit. I'm like,
We hung out for a bit.
I just remember putting the wine down, changing the song, and just being like.
Wine is pretty strong.
So I mean, the
but
point
also
is if
mixing
you're
alcohol with it is stronger.
true,
too,
but I only had the sip.
Oh, true.
But point is like you fucking taking that shit. Yeah, I was probably taking a higher dose maybe or whatever, but still, you take that shit and drive, and it's okay because you're prescribed it, and like they just showed that on a fucking TV show. I can't smoke fucking doobie and fucking drive, and you know what I mean? And like, I don't know, like people make mistakes and shit, and like you know, you're probably more apt to make a mistake when you are stoned and shit. But I will say that. I probably shouldn't say this, but I have more practice driving stoned. Like I've driven stoned.
I'll
most
say
of
it
the
too,
time.
man. I drive stoned a
one of
lot.
my buddies said,
Fucking, you know, out of my mind. I'm just kidding.
one of my buddies doesn't like him and his girlfriend never like fucking not even like the never.
It's a bit scarier now with the new laws,
Well,
honestly.
and this is like
from
a few
before,
years
like
ago.
with the stories you were saying earlier, right?
Yeah,
It's a bit scarier now with the new laws, you know. But I mean, like sometimes I've had a couple drinks and drove. Like I don't, you know. But like it's the same thing, you know. It's not the same as weed, I find. You know
No,
what I mean?
exactly,
It's not the
yeah.
same effect, man.
Well, and
Like when you smoke weed, it's almost like you're more cautious of what's going. Depends.
Yeah,
Depends on the kind of
depends,
weed
but-
too.
Yeah.
Well,
You know, you smoke some Kush, man.
Yeah.
You might be a little bit. You might not see things as fast as you do. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
and
Yeah.
if everything's slowed down, that should make your reaction time better.
You
I don't
smoke
know
your
about
sativa,
that.
you know, you're good to go, man.
Shit.
But you're right, you know, she was prescribed Xanax and she was able to drive. Okay, what the hell? Before everyone was able to smoke weed before it was legal, the only way you can smoke weed is if you had, legally, is if you had a prescription. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you have a prescription, then maybe, you know, somewhere along the way,
See, I was thinking
you
about
should
doing
be able
that.
to
Go out
maybe
and get the
off
card.
with-
drive.
I like the
Yeah.
license
or,
idea.
you know,
That's a
like,
good idea.
maybe not operate heavy machinery or go, you know what I mean? I don't know. Fuck it.
There's
depends.
there's a racetrack in the States. I forget where it is or what it is, but there's a racetrack in the States where they do an event where it's like a fucking drive on weed thing.
Oh yeah.
So you go there and you drive around the track and like I don't know if they time you
Probably
or
at
whatever,
an airport.
but it's like no, it's like a fucking
An
it was like a
actual
racetrack.
racetrack?
It was like fucking it looked like there was like a backstretch and shit and like
Okay.
fucking but anyways, so they fucking you go through the thing and like I said, I don't know if they time you or whatever, but you go through it, there's a couple things you gotta like, you know, go through little obstacles, right?
Yeah.
But then you go and you smoke weed, and then you fucking jump in the car and you drive through it. But then they fuck with you. So there's like at one point there's this fucking massive, like I'm talking huge, fucking beach ball,
Oh
like
yeah.
bounces across and shit. And then there's like this one spot where you go around the thing, and this thing actually like comes out from behind it. So you gotta like swerve quick and shit. But anyways, they like fuck with you, right? So like you remember it one way, and they like do little things.
Yeah.
But it was actually pretty cool. I was like, I'd like to do that, man. Like fucking right, yeah.
Fucking right.
I feel like we're getting off topic. I'm sorry.
No, no.
It's all good, man. There's no
Smoking and
topic in a
jiving.
podcast, man. That's the whole point, is to see how far these conversations will take you.
Yeah.
You know?
That's right.
That's
Deep
what's
is the
up.
rabbit
So-
hole. What's that one?
Yo,
I
your
guess,
your
good
latest
for you.
music video is 24/7.
Yeah,
correct?
yeah. I dropped that a while back, actually.
A while back,
you know,
yeah.
'cause I had that tour going on, and in the summer I concentrate, you know, on family and my son, this and
Yeah.
that. So
Okay.
now, you know, in September, October, I'm going to be doing a couple
Getting
music
some new
videos,
stuff
dropping
coming
some new
out, yeah?
music, yeah,
Okay.
100%. And then, you know, I'll drop another tour. You know, I came to the conclusion because now, like, hey, man, it went well with World Peace, the last tour. So, like, you know, when the recipe's good, why change it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this guy was a big asset to the next one, you know. You know, if he could help me, you know, set up tours, you know, 50-50, then we'll split 50-50. I'll have a partner in this, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because
There
I've
you
been
go.
doing this all myself for the past 4 tours now.
Yeah,
well,
man.
I can't say 4 tours because he helped me with half of this last one, you know.
Yeah, so 3
But-
and a half.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what I mean? Like, we'll just round
Yeah,
it up,
yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? But yeah, obviously, I give him a lot of credit, and I never not give him credit, you know.
Of course.
So, you know, when the recipe works well, then you know what? Chances are that, like, and we could work twice as fast.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm trying to do, you know, obviously no one likes to travel in the winter unless you go down south. So, like, I usually take the winter off, you know, maybe actually take a trip for pleasure down south, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, you know, in the fall tour and in the spring tour and in the summer, it's for my son, you know, my
Yeah.
family, you know. So
Right
I
on.
think that's the schedule that I've came to the conclusion that that's how it's gonna go work.
Works the best, yeah.
Since this last tour, you know what I'm saying? See, if everything works good, we're good doing it that way, man.
Yeah, man.
Fuck
Right
yeah.
on.
Gotta have that balance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right.
Fuck yeah.
That's
all about
it.
balance.
Business and pleasure. And family, obviously.
course.
How old is your son?
He just turned 9, man, in
Nice.
August. Bro, that's crazy.
Nice.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
I was actually just talking to my buddy, man, and he's like, "Yo, I feel so old, man." He's like, "Remember that girl went to high school where she got pregnant?" So I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "Her kid just graduated high school, man." I was like,
Oh.
"Shit." I'm like, "Yo, that's old, man. Like, I feel old too, you know."
Yeah.
So,
Well,
like,
that's-
it's 9, though, you know. It's a good age, though. 'Cause you don't have to change on diapers and shit.
Yeah.
You don't have to repeat yourself 6 times, only 3 times. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you're past most of the Y's and shit.
Yeah.
There's a
yeah.
couple, but
But, you know,
yeah.
you
Well,
actually
see, because my
do
son's
sports with him and do stuff like on his birthday. I brought him to Marineland and
yeah,
and
I
Niagara
saw
Falls, and I went back over there after the accident. Yeah, you know,
Nice.
just to overcome my fear.
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah,
trying
yeah,
to
yeah.
screw
Get
that
back on
shit.
the horse.
That's
I'm like,
smart, man.
probably if it happening once, you know, the probability of having it twice. I'm like, yo, man, if it happens, I'm buying a lotto ticket. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What the
Take a
hell,
different
man?
exit.
I'd beat it, you know. Anyway, so we ended up going back there for his birthday and stuff. It was really cool, man. Because I never had the opportunity. I never had that as a child, you know, but be able to give the opportunity for my child to live that.
Yeah,
You know, it's such a blessing, you know, because I would have loved to go Marineland and stuff like that as a kid, you know, or go to Niagara Falls. And I actually brought him to Prince Edward Island for one of my shows, man. It was an outdoor
Nice.
show, man. That was when I was
That's
first
killer.
traveling.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah,
man, to
man,
show him a little
right
bit
on.
how to travel, get out of the wherever. Some people live their whole life in the same city, man. I can't
Absolutely,
believe
yeah.
that, man.
It's-
Like, what the hell is that?
It's good
So I'm
to
just
get
I'm just trying to
out
show him
and
that
see
stuff,
the
you know.
world, man.
Yeah.
Got to
Absolutely.
look outside
Man, I
the
went to
box.
Niagara
Yeah,
Falls. I went to
absolutely.
Niagara Falls when I was 14, man. Fucking by myself on a train. Fucking
Oh,
parents
yeah?
dropped me off. Got on the train. Fucking yeah.
Really? When you were
My-
14.
14, man. Yeah, like I went down. Sorry, I say by myself. I went down by myself, but I met like my girlfriend had moved away with her family. And stuff.
Spicy meatball.
So I
you
went and
told me
stayed
this
with
story.
them. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, at the same time, like I traveled by myself.
Yeah,
and shit
man.
and
And
whatever.
that takes a lot. Like to travel by yourself it's no doubt. It's a lot.
I feel you, man. Yo, it's 6:10, right? I might have to dip soon, man.
That's
Just
all
saying,
right, man. Fucking,
You wanna,
we never asked you before we started, but you got any fire for us? Do you want to
Fire.
spit or
Yeah,
anything?
man. I guess fire, What?
Yeah, we usually ask you before and shit if you got any beats you want to play and maybe spit some shit.
Beats I
But
want to play.
you don't have to. Like
Beats like on my phone, like.
maybe you do. Yeah,
I don't know. Or you can,
Boom.
put it
you
on
can plug it in and shit.
something. Plug it in.
You don't have to either,
do.
man.
No pressure. No pressure.
Yeah.
I could just, we're smoking some weed, so it should go like this, man. Roll it up, let's get high. Blow it out in the sky. Drink Coronas with lime. Barbecues on the beach. Summertime hot ladies. Tanning on bikinis. Roll up the ganja. Let's start the party. Everybody with your eyes real low. Bloodshot eyes while we ride so slow. Taking hits from the bong. Listening to Bob Marley. Roll up the ganja. Let's start the party.
Yeah.
Okay, audio, baby. 7:30. You know what it is. We're going all worldwide with this. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
you
Fuck,
already know
fuck
what
that
time
local
it is.
50 list. Anything lower, you'll be on the 100 list on your street. You know what I'm saying? I ain't aiming for that shit. I'm aiming bigger than that, man. I don't care. Fuck that, man. I'm aiming #1 in the world, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bucket list.
You gotta aim high, man. You gotta aim
Yeah,
high. That's
man.
what it is.
Fucking right, you gotta fucking. How does it go? You gotta aim for the moon so you end up with the stars.
Yeah.
One thing
well,
about
even
that,
if
though-
you miss, you will land amongst
Yeah.
the
Okay.
stars.
There we go. I always forget the.
One thing
middle part.
about that list, though, man, I think that is good is that it motivated every motherfucker in the city, man,
True
to just
that.
keep pushing, man.
Yeah,
and that's what's
yeah,
good,
man.
man. It did. And everyone,
Yeah.
it caused commotion, man. You
It
know what I'm
did.
saying? It did, bro.
Yeah.
That was nuts. That almost went viral in Ottawa, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
You gotta stir the
but
pot.
I don't know, I'm not going to say to that point there. I'm not giving that much credit because it wasn't that credible of a list. But anyways, I'm just
Yeah.
saying, what is good that came out of that is it boosted everyone's motivation to
Yeah.
keep pushing and then
Absolutely.
it woke them up a little bit, you know what I'm
I think
saying?
that's what it was
Yeah, I
all
was-
that's
about.
good.
I was
That's
super
good.
pissed that wasn't on the list, man.
Yeah, so cheese.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Damn.
Biggest artist in Ottawa.
Maybe next year.
Damn.
That's good.
Oh shit, I'm joking, man. I ain't got shit.
But I'm not hating, a lot of those artists deserve to, a lot of them deserve to
true.
be there, you know what I mean?
Like,
Some of them I never fucking heard of them. Was it based on credential?
Like
Was
even,
it based on,
Yeah.
opinion? Was it based, it definitely wasn't based on credential, you know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
if it was, then this motherfucker
Well, I mean,
did the
like-
list and do his homework properly or some shit. You know?
Belly,
Yeah.
like Belly was #1, right?
I think so
And,
every
like,
time.
I-
yeah.
I
Him
felt
and
like-
then,
I felt like that. I was like, man, where's Belly been? But at the same time, I think I said this before, is that fucking actually when the weekend got signed or whatever, he said that he wouldn't go unless he could bring Belly with him. And apparently
Oh, yeah?
Belly writes for the weekend.
I've heard
Belly
that.
writes for a
some
lot of artists, man. Yeah,
and he
apparently,
writes
yeah.
for a lot of other people.
Yep.
He actually took who was it? Either Cannabis or Corrupt or something under his wing and fucking did some shit like
Corrupt, yeah.
years ago. Yeah.
So it's all about networking. I'm sure this guy's hitting up all these people, all their managers, and say, "Oh, I got to talk to your artist," and I got some lyrics for him or whatever. You got to keep poking and poking and poking.
Yeah,
Poke your nose.
no doubt.
Yeah,
Make yourself
yeah.
be known.
Fucking
That's
A,
it, man. The
Networking.
hustle continues.
True.
That's a good Juicy J mixtape. I remember that. The hustle continues. 2.
Somebody want that?
THC. That's what it was. I think. The
What's
hustle continues. THC.
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay, yeah, I get it.
I'm
No,
good, man.
Nice.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Alright.
Well, you want to
Well-
do some quick questions or what?
What do you mean, quick questions? You got to say them really fast? or-
Yeah, like some
Yeah, this is the
some,
lightning
like,
round.
Like
Every
it'll
every
go-
question is worth double the points.
Yeah. We'll get to know
It's
you.
like
a
my
little bit.
Family Feud or some shit.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Jeopardy.
it'll go as easy as pizza or tacos, and it might get a little deep later on.
Are you serious?
It's
man?
up to you
Yeah,
though.
he's
That's
serious.
kind of cool, man.
Yeah, all right. So you down? All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
I
all
keep
right.
forgetting to make up questions.
Pizza or
so.
tacos?
Tacos, because I always eat pizza.
Yeah, all right. Powerade or Gatorade?
I like Powerade because it feels like it gives me power.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Gin or vodka?
It's tough.
You have to think about that.
You know what? I like gin, man. Not gonna lie, man.
I agree with
prefer, I like vodka mixes with a lot of shit. You can mix vodka with anything, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually I'll go vodka because this is better, you know. It's just more versatile. You just do what you want with it.
Plane or train?
The fuck does that mean?
What would you rather
you
take?
want to run a
plane
train, or you want to run
the
a
plane or take the train?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Misinterpret that so
about.
much. I thought it was like, anyways. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Mile high or run a train.
Okay. I'd rather take a plane. It seems like I'll just go somewhere more exotic with a plane. than a train.
Truth.
Yeah.
Faster too.
Exotic is
For
good.
Booty or boobs?
Fuck, man. You know what? I can't live with. I need both.
Yeah.
I need
shit,
both,
you hear that,
man.
ladies?
I need both, man. But you know what?
We'll
You know what? She could. It doesn't matter, to be honest. It doesn't matter, man. I like small titties, like big titties.
We'll go with it.
I like big ass, I like small ass.
There
you know
you
what
go.
I'm saying?
A lover
I'm
of
not
all.
picky, man. I'm not picky. All women deserve loving, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Just joking.
That's
man.
right.
Just joking. JS.
Tattoos or piercings?
I also got a lot more tattoos and piercings, but once upon a time, I had more piercings than tattoos.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you would ask a younger me, I would have been like piercings. But now I was like, tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like both though, but
Okay.
the majority rules.
I like the Illuminati eye you got on your sleeve there.
Where's
Right
that?
there.
Oh yeah, right there. Yeah.
Illuminat me.
What about jewelry or cars?
Oh shit.
I've had both, man. To be honest, man. I'd say car, man.
Yeah.
I'd say car, cause you
I'd
could have a
probably
sick ass
agree.
car, man. No
Yeah.
jewelry, and you said, you know, I don't know. It's a
But
tough one.
I
man.
saw the
Jewelry
dopest...
has better resale value.
I saw the dopest Ferrari today, man. It just made me
No.
rethink my whole life.
What color?
You know
was
what,
it?
man?
It was red.
I was gonna say, is it obvious? But yeah, I'm just checking.
It was a beautiful one.
It was sick.
Oh.
it was
You know,
nice.
but like you could get your chain robbed, but chances to get your car robbed is a little slim. You know,
You're
it's
right,
more
man.
slim. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
So,
True. But if you spend the
but
money
if carry
that
a
you,
Glock, he won't get far.
I was gonna say, if you spend the money on a gun that you saved on buying the car, or I mean on buying like jewelry instead of a car,
Yeah.
then there you go, right? You're always protected. I mean, you'll end up in jail over like a fucking chain, but still.
What about deep sea or outer space? Would you rather be in?
Well, I've already been in not deep sea. I've been in the sea.
We're talking like, yeah, I guess
do you
I'm
mean?
Talking like
you would be
Mariana's
dead, but
Trench.
yeah.
The fuck does that mean?
I mean, would you rather be deep sea in a submarine or outer space in a spacecraft? I suppose.
All expenses paid.
You gotta ask me this shit when I smoke some weed.
Yeah.
That's some like far out shit, man. Literally. Yeah. I never done both, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Show me a tutorial or video on, a brochure or something, man. I'll take my pick after. I'm like, yo, that one looks sick, you know? I don't know, man. Show me a brochure on boat, man. I'll let you know. I've never been a boat, but I mean, you know what?
That's awesome.
That is a
Richard
good
Branson's
answer.
working on that shit. Like,
Richard
man.
Branson?
Yeah,
Which
like-
one's that guy? The Virgin dude?
yeah.
He's got like an
Yeah.
island and
Trips,
shit.
yeah, he wants to do like trips to
Fucking
space
won
and
this
shit.
last weekend.
Oh, shit. What?
Fucking right. I went to like
Scooby Doo rolling trail. You gotta show that to the camera.
I went to a
Yeah.
cannabis
Hey,
event at
what?
Tyndonega.
Okay, this is a stoner that made this.
Yeah,
for
shout
sure.
out Mellow Moments.
Yeah.
It's made
At
by
Mellow
stoner
Moments.
for a stoner. So
Yeah.
this is an epic piece right here.
Fucking
It
right.
is
Yeah, looks handmade too.
Yeah, oh yeah.
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 pretty
And all
dope.
these people are actually people that I know.
That's the character.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
yeah.
All right.
Yes.
All right, man. Well, I think we're gonna fucking wrap it up.
That's it, man. Wrap it up, man. Like a Christmas gift.
Yeah,
Christmas
that's
gift.
right.
Fucking right, man.
That's right. Yo, thanks for coming out,
Yeah,
man.
man,
We
it was a
appreciate
pleasure
it.
having you. Like I said, looking forward to this for a long time.
Man, you guys have been good shit, man.
We'll definitely have you again, man.
Bless, man. Yes, sir.
Peace. Thanks for coming out, man.
Yeah.
Fucking right.
You know what it is. 7:30
All right.
Mafia Money
That's it.
Boys.
4G
Your boy,
Audio
Mr.
Podcast
Jones.
with Mr. Jones.
Yes.
Gang,
Yo, check out
gang.
24/7 on YouTube, man. You know, the real Mr. Jones on Instagram. You just look up Mr. Jones, Mista Jones, on YouTube, on Google, and you can find all sorts of stuff. Check it out, Mr. Jones, on Facebook as well. Go like, share, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
He's
You can check me
everywhere.
in country near you, city near you. You know what I'm saying? We're going worldwide, baby. You
And
know what it is?
a theater near you.
Yeah. All right.
what's up.
4G Audio.
Gang, gang.
Peace out.
We out here.
Catch you in the